Hello. Just do a quick check. Okay, I think we are live now. Okay. So hello, welcome to this month's webinar, and this is the first one for the year. So happy New Year! I wish you all an excellent year. And today will be okay. So sorry, I'm just doing a test here. So I think I have confirmed that it's working fine, and I think the chat box too. I think chat box also working fine. Cool. All right, so I think I'm good to go. So today we'll be doing a webinar on Power BI. I'll be taking you through how to create excellent dashboards, do a lot of mashing up of data in Power BI. So this is what we'll be creating actually. The final product of what we'll be doing in today's webinar is going to look like this. So it's a financial analysis of stocks, and as you can see, I have here the different companies. So this is called a ticker. So I have in here different companies. You can pick whichever company you want to analyze, and you will notice that some things are changing in here. So these old graphs, they change, right? And I also have another kind of ticker in here, slicer actually. I don't know why I call it ticker, slicer. So I have another slicer in here where you could pick again from different sets of uh, views you want to check out. So you want to okay. So you want to check out cash flow from finance. You pick it, and everything changes to reflect just that one, right? You want to do gross margin, and you pick it, and you see everything change to reflect just that. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing today. And before we go too far, I do notice people do say, oh, the screen is blur. They can't see what I'm describing clearly. So I'll be showing you you how you can set it. So you'll be the one who have to do this. You have to set it to okay, YouTube. All right, so YouTube. Okay, so like right now that you're watching, this is what you'll be seeing. Okay, so I'm gonna just give it a little time. Okay, yeah, I can see someone has even already mentioned it that it's pixelated. So this is where you need to come in here and then change the quality. So change the quality, set it to the highest. It's only if your internet can't take it that you can choose any of these lower bandwidths. So I would recommend you set it to 720 HD quality. That way it will be clear, right? So let me use the opportunity to reply. So set the video quality to either 720 pixel or 480. So whichever one uh, your internet can carry, then great, you will see clearly. So this is where you set it. So it's under settings, under setting quality. So it's under setting and quality. All right. So hopefully those who come in and join, they will see the chat and be able to follow along. All right. So thank you, and let's go now. So this is what we're going to create. Uh, so what is Power BI? If this is not your first time, engaging with me either through the webinar posts and other articles, you'll already have some idea of what Power BI is. But just in case you're new to it all, it's Microsoft's self-service business intelligence tool. It helps you make report dashboards very easily. Those kind of very interactive, in-depth reports that you try to create in Excel, and then you have to do a lot of magic. Sometimes you have to go and watch some 2 hours, 3 hours video. Sometimes the steps you are following, you don't even know why you have to do it that way. So there's a lot of cramming and just copying pasting some other people's methods. All those things are gone with Power BI. With Power BI, it makes it just a drag and drop. You get exactly what you want, and with all those very rich features you want that you have to almost hack your way to achieve with Excel. Okay, so I have a file with the raw data. Okay, so this is the raw data I'm going to use. Let me open in. I'm going to import them in their Excel files. So they have the different. Let me open them. So this is okay. So it's opening in Excel, so you can have an idea of what the content is. If you have any question, I'm able to see the chat box, so you can drop me any question, and I'll be answering right here. Okay. All right. So this is the okay. So this is the one of the raw data I'll be using. So it has different sheets for revenue details. So revenue details for different companies. It also has another sheet for gross profit. It has another sheet for net income, total assets. So it has many sheets. Let me use the keyboard shortcut. This is current. If you're in the finance unit or finance field, these are things that you'll be familiar with. But the point I want to bring out is these are all reports that you would like to see together, not something, when you're looking at a company and you are analyzing it, you want to see all of this about the company, not that you want to see just this and then, see something else separately. You want to see how all of these are interwoven. So you might be a sales person, you might be a sales manager, and you have different regions. Analyze just one region in isolation. As the sales manager, when your different regional managers send you an area salespeople send you report, you want to see a very meaningful analysis that lets you see who is doing better than who. How is something affecting this region? Does it also affect this other region? Are there two regions that they always maybe go either up together or down together? You want to see everything in one view. So rather than having different reports, and then in Excel to combine this is not easy. You have to know how to use pivot table, not just know how to use it almost to an extreme end for you to combine different tables together, and in the end it might not even look very very neat. It will look very much like you've hacked different things together. It might still get things done, but with Power BI you get a very nice dashboard out of the box with features you can't get in Excel, like drill down. You could set uh, well, you can do hierarchy now in Excel, but with the new versions of Excel. So you get some features that you don't get with your normal Excel. So this is the raw data. I'm going to close it because I want to import it. And then, in addition, I have another data that is on a server, an SQL server. So I'm going to launch the SQL server so you have an idea of what that one looks like. So I'm going to turn on the SQL server. Because I'm using a very powerful encoder for my streaming, so it's using up a lot of my CPU, so some of my other stuffs are dragging to open. So just bear with me, my PC is not this very slow, but I also want to give us very good quality, so I want to give us HD qualities, but it's using up a lot of system resource. So this will open. I will show you the server. So in your own case too, you could have servers, SAP, your ERP, your Siebel, whatever server you have in-house that houses data. You don't have to always download them and then bring them into Excel and start working on them. You can connect directly. So I need to copy the connection string. So you can also connect live to the server and get the data you want. So on the server, I have the daily price, the price history of those stocks. In your own case, it could be the history of sales. So as the salespeople make sales, they lodge it on their tracking device, the thing is uploaded into one central place like an ERP, and you don't want to always download a copy, bring into Excel, analyze, then anytime you want to do a new analysis you have to go back and download the new one. With Power BI you don't have to do all those. So I'm going to show you the database we are going to use. So I have a server, and then I have a database. So the database we're going to use, I think, is stocks. Let me just be very sure. I think it's this one. So select the top 1000 rows. If you're just joining and you're wondering what are we doing, I'm trying to show that I'm going to connect to different data sources. So I'm going to connect also to an SQL server. So I just want to show you what's on that server. So when you have an idea of the different information, because this is, I'm going to demo with these examples. So I want to just let you understand. So okay, so this is the server. On the server I have the different companies too. So as you can see, I have the different companies, then their price. So let me do order by dates descending. Okay, this is yesterday's date. So this server, the live data every day, it's updated. There's some processes in it that are updated. So this is a live server we are connected to, and I'm going to use okay, so those are the two data sources I'm going to pull into Power BI and make a report. In Excel, it won't be as easy as this. So let's get started. We've already spent 12 minutes. So this is Power BI. I've opened it, and I'll go to get data. So I'm going to start first with the one I have in Excel. So I'll click on Excel. And then I'll go to where I have that Excel file. So this is it, stock analysis. Okay. Before I start, there's something I usually do when I have a report that is large. Like in this case, I have a table that has a lot of records, right? So sometimes I like to switch off, but I don't think it will worry this anyway. Sometimes I like to switch off. I think I should do it because it might affect this one. I like to switch off uh, relationships so that I can create them myself. Let's know what is. If it makes my system slow, I'll switch it off. If it does not, then I will continue. Okay, so let me continue so you don't think you always have to do that. It's only when you're working with very large files and you notice that everything is dragging, so they are like performance tuning settings. But don't worry, I don't think this is large enough to cause that. So I'm going to pick on that. Okay, so the moment I pick on it, it brings out all the tables I have in that particular Excel file, right? So I need, which ones are the ones I need? I need current assets. I need to also bring in current liability. I don't need these ones. I need cash flow. I need gross margin. I need this. So I'm going to be very fast anyway. So I'm going to click on all the records that I need. If this were your own data too, you'll be very familiar with it. So you bring in all the records you need. Let me also include the FY. Okay, so if you want to make some edits, you can do editing, but I'm not going to make any edits. So I'll tell it to load the report instantly. So it will start loading. So this is where sometimes I have issue. If I'm bringing in a lot of tables, this takes time. So this is what we determine. If this takes too much time, I will now show you what I usually do. So there's a setting I go to. I turn off some things. So when I turn them off, it tends to work faster. That was what I wanted to do prior at the beginning, but I felt, let me not confuse you with, so you don't feel you always have to do it. You only do it when you need things are dragging for too long and you want things to be done faster for you. I think this is really fast. Okay, so I might not need to do that. Well, I thought it was done. So let me check if any question. Let me just check the chat box in case there's. Okay, so it's done. Let me just check if any question. Okay. Okay. And so you'll notice all those, it brought them in here. So these are all those tables I've imported. And then this is the dashboard area, so it's the report sheet. I also have the data section where I get to see the underlying data. I get to see the all those different files I brought in, what are the content. And this allows you to bring in even data that has more than 1 million rows. So like in Excel, that's you natively are limited to 1 million, except if you're using Power Pivot. Uh, so this doesn't have that limit. You you can have brought in things of 12 million, and I think someone has said he's used about a billion, connected it to a billion rows of data. So it's just your PC. If your PC can handle it, great. It will also be able to handle it. So all right. So I've brought in the different reports. You see it's showing me the way they are. But I'm not done. I also want to bring in the one I said is on a server. So I'm going to click on, I think it's an SQL server. It will ask me for the server name. I thought I copied it. Okay, so just let me quickly copy the server name. Uh, server name. My server name is this. I also need the server port number, but anyway, I'll come back to that. Server name. Sometimes I need to put the port number, but I'll come back to that. So the database is Nigerian. If it doesn't connect, I'll just dig out the port number and so the database is Nigerian Elite. You can choose different connection modes, but let me go with the import. So what import does is imports the data. Sometimes you might not want to import, you might want to query your server directly. Uh, those are things you can read about the main difference between these two. So it's just your connection mode. Okay, and then there's advanced option is if you want to run some query immediately as you are connecting, but I'm not interested in doing that. So I'll do connect. Okay, so I will need to just check out for that port number. I don't know it offhand, so let me just quickly check out for it. SQL Server default ports. I think it's 1377. Okay, 1433. Okay, so I'm going to reconnect now. 1433. Okay, 1433. Okay, so it's connected. Then it says that's an error reading. Why is it having an error reading data from your database? Refresh. Load. I hope it's not going to try to load the entire database. No, 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 no. I don't know what's wrong with my server. So let me just try it one more. I have the Excel content. That very same. I have the Excel content, but it doesn't make sense to use to. I want to show you how you can also connect to a live database. Maybe I will leave out the database part. So I will let it tell me to pick the database. We encountered an error while trying to connect. Retry. Now my server is up because that's what I just used now. Let me reconnect. If it gives me I might just download but that will not be cool. Rather than having to download, I'll have been able to show you the benefit of also connecting live. 1433 Nigerian. Right. I think I know what to do. It saved, it didn't ask me for password, so it has saved that connection. I think what I should do is I should remove it from my recent. So that way it doesn't save the connection. Okay. Remove from list. Okay. So let me try again now, and I want it to ask me my password. I think that's the problem. It was trying to try the put in the password I used long ago, and because if you're doing this from fresh, it will ask you to put in your password. So it will ask for username, password, and that way the same issue too. Edit. This is what I need. So let me click on it if it will bring it out. Okay. So it's brought it out. I don't know why it didn't work out that way. So I just updated this version, so I'm thinking it might be a version problem, but it has brought it out. So this is what I need actually. So this is it's from my server now, but you notice I have to come in straight here to query editor. So I'm going to just close this. I'm going to close the query editor, close and apply. Okay. So now I should have it also in here. Okay, it's bringing it in. So you see it's connected to the database, and it's bringing in that particular table for me. And that's for the stocks table that I clicked on. It's a lot. It has probably like 20,000 rows or 40,000 rows of data. Okay, I think about 13,000. Okay. So I've brought in the tables I need. I've brought in all the tables I need. The stocks is where? Okay, so this is it. Okay. So what I need to do next is I want to put them in a way that will be usable for me. Okay, like for this one, I have the different companies, I have the ticker, so this is good. I can see the prices. The one for the current asset, the different financials, I'm having each one separately. So you can say I have current assets, current liabilities, financing cash flow. I would prefer to merge them so that I can have everything in one file, in one giant table, and that way I can be able to do a lot more flexible analysis. So I'm going to show us how you can transform your data so you don't have to always transform it before bringing. Just bring them the way they are. Then now once you're inside Power BI, you can transform them to whatsoever way you want. I'm going to add the there are two different places you can do transformations. There are ones you can do right in here. So here is the equivalent of the power pivots. So you can run the same thing, DAX command that you, the kind of commands you run in Power Pivot, you can run in here. Then there's also the query editor. So the difference is majorly this. The query editor does whatsoever command you put at the query editor level, runs the very instant you are bringing in the data. So it runs all those steps for you as it was bringing in the data. So you have it done completely, right? And sometimes you might prefer to put some of your editing in that level. So you don't want to bring in everything. You want to bring in just a specific data set. You can put those setting in the query editor stage. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go to edit queries. So it brings me in here. This was where it brought us when I was trying to bring in the SQL data. So this is the very naked connection to your data set, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a new column in these in each of all these analytics table itself. So current assets, I'm going to create a column. I'll call it metric. So it will have, because I want to merge all these fields. So I'm going to create you. It will become clearer when I'm done with it. It might not be easy to you for you to know why I'm creating a new column. So I'm going to come in here, add a new column. So custom column. I'll call the column the metric. So what is the particular thing this table is measuring? For this one is doing for current assets. So I'm going to have to put the current assets in. So I have current assets in here. Because I'm going to do this for the other tables, I'm going to copy that name out. So I'll say okay. So do this. And that we had that. So it has added that there. I will do the same thing too for current liability. Metric current liabilities. I do okay. I'll do the same thing too for financing cash flow. So I'll call it cash flow from finance activities. Yeah, isn't that too long? Let me call it financing cash flow. Okay, let's leave it anyway. It's a demo. You can always change the name, and also your data is probably not going to be mined, so it's the concept that matters most. Understanding the different processes you can run through. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing too for this. I will try to be faster. I think I have about 12 tables. Gross margin. I'll do for gross profit. Okay. It's the streaming codec. It's making my PC a little drag. It's, like I say, you always have to compromise between. You can't have HD and everything at once. Uh, except maybe if I upgrade my PC to those gaming device. Okay, this is usually the ones that takes time. If not because they are not so much, I will have just done a couple and say let's skip the others. But the result is going to look a lot nicer once we've done for everybody. So I'm going to say cash flow from investing activities. If you joined us in the last month's webinar, you will notice that it was this similar kind of dashboard. This was the same data we worked on, and the dashboard we are creating is going to be similar to that one. Just that this one will have a lot more features, like I explained to us. This Power BI, from the name itself, you will know it's definitely got more power. So net cash flow, I'm also going to do for net income. We're almost getting getting there. We're slowly getting there. Just bear with me. But at least you can be looking around, familiarizing yourself with the menu items. The different things you'll be seeing there. So this is a net income. And this will be net income margin. So net income margin. Then I'll do for operations, cash flow from operations. So cash flow from operating, say operations instead of the usual financial term is always operating activities. I'll do also for revenue. This is where the bulk of the work is anyway, so that's why I'm not in a hurry I'm not like, oh, let's just skip the rest, because by the time you start to, this is where you'll be spending the bulk of the time, preparing the data, making them work well for what you want. The graphics part is always easy, is you drag, drop, click here, click there. So yeah, no matter how scary it looks, it is where you need to get used to. So return on assets is where the internal plumbing that makes the outside stick. Return on assets. Hope I got that right. Okay. We're almost done. So I have just about 3 more. Return on equity. Come up. Okay. So return on equity and total assets. These are the 3 more I have. So total assets, total equity, total liabilities, and then we are done. Then we do just a few more stuff too. Like I mentioned, most of the uh, come up. So most of the work is in here. It's going to come up now. Okay, total assets. So where we are is the query editor. You will notice every step I'm applying is saying I added a new column, added a custom column. I can delete any step. I can, so it keeps a record of what you have done. You know, in Excel when you do stuff, so you don't know, you don't see the processes. But in this one, it keeps all the processes. Oh, you did this, then you did this. So it's easier. It's easy for you to review, to go back, make some changes, or see, okay, what were the steps I followed. Or if you're reviewing my work, you'll be able to see without me having to tell you, and you'll be able to say, oh, I did this, then I did that, the very exact steps I took. So these are some of the added advantages. This is the equivalent of query, Power Query in Excel. If you have the new versions of Excel, I think it's also now called Get and Transform in 2016, and it's inbuilt. Okay, so let's do the final one. I hope you've not all disappeared. Total. Don't worry, the final output, is going to be what all of this work. When you see it, I'm sure you even want to watch this video again, just so that you get this part that helped us come up with that beautiful outlook. Okay, so now I've created those different metrics, right? The other thing I would like to do is this. I have some values that are showing up as null, so meaning we didn't have records for them. I don't think I would like to see null in my reports, so I have to do something about them. But first of all, I want to create a new table that will merge up all of these tables I've worked on, right? So I'm going to go to transform, and I think it's home. Okay, it's home. So I'll go to home. I'll go to um, the append queries, but I'll choose append as new, so that I have a separate table for it, and it's going to come up. Just bear with me. So the primary table. Okay, so let me start with total liabilities then. So I want to append more than two tables, so I'm going to append these, also current assets, current liabilities, financing cash flow, gross margin, append it to gross profit. You know what append means? That I'm joining them. So let's say you have 10 people who report to you. Maybe they report for different regions or different products, and maybe you used to have to copy and paste. Copy and paste everybody's report into one giant Excel sheet. This is exactly what I'm doing now here, but you can see I'm doing it a nicer way. I'm not having to copy paste. So I'm doing for about 20 sheets, 20 tables, and you can see, just click on the table, do hard, click on the table, do hard. So it's faster. Did this one go? Okay, yeah. So this, I'm done. So I'm going to click on OK. So it's going to work. It's magic. It's called the name of the table append one. I don't like that name, so I'm going to change that name. So I'm going to call it metric table. So I'm going to call it the table that holds all those metrics. So metrics table. Okay. So I'm getting there. If you have questions, you can type them in. So once I'm able to take a break to look at questions, I will look at your questions and answer them. But at worst, we take all the questions at the end. So, but you type your questions so you don't forget. Okay, so now I have one giant table that has everything. So that has all those records. If I keep scrolling, it keeps expanding. All right. Now remember what I said. What the meaning of null means we couldn't get records for them. So there could be maybe in your records to, ones that there were no data. Maybe companies that didn't have operations, or you didn't get income. Sales were not made in that to that particular customer. So maybe I'm not interested in those ones. I don't want them. I don't want to show them. I don't want them to show up in my report. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to filter out the nulls. So I don't need nulls, right? So I'm going to do OK. You'll notice everything I'm doing it shows up as a step. So it's telling me I've done a filtered rows. Okay, so now I don't have the null anymore. What other thing will I like to do here? So I'm going to go to the table that has this one, the one that has the price that I pulled out from the SQL, that I connected to the SQL table for. First, I don't like that name. I'm going to change the name to price. So it has a stock price, the daily prices. I need that. So I've changed the name to price. So that will be the name of the table. And okay, so update, I have price, I have volume of sales, volume of transaction that day, total market capitalization, shares outstanding, dividends, the kind of things if you're a stock analyst you want to see. So I don't think I need to make this is good the way it's already like the way I would like to have it. So I'm done here. So once you're done with all this basic level transformation, oh, I'm not done. I just remembered. If you look at this, the financial years are all in different columns. This is going to be problematic for me when I want to maybe do a graph that will show each year. Imagine doing a graph and you have the years like this. It's difficult for you to now draw for everybody, all the company, and the years. It's better. Okay, what I mean is this: it's better for me to have the years showing in one column, and that way I can be able to even do a filter and say I want to do only for year 2015, 2005. But like this, I can't even do a filter because the years are arranged. So I'm going to do what we call on pivot. But first of all, I'll move this one. So I think here. Okay, so no, it's not yet there yet. So here. Okay, so you see, it's even noted you said I reordered columns. All right. So now I already have all those different, so you can see now I have all the different metrics. I want to have that same thing too for the years. So I can click somewhere and I'll see all the different years, right? So what I want to do is I want to unpivot. So I'm going to select all the years. It's called unpivot. I'm going to select all of the years and I'll come in to transform. Yeah, it's in transform. So I'll say it should unpivot the columns. So it will unpivot the columns I've selected. You'll see what unpivot means anyway when it's done. You will see what it means. So you can see. So now I have all the years. I have all the years together in one place. And then the values. This value I'll change it. Okay, let's leave it as value. So maybe I'll change the attribute name. I'll change it from attribute to metric. No, to year. I forgot to year. It's even complained that I have metric, so to year actually. To year. Okay, so I think I'm done now. So what I'll do next is just go here and say close and apply. Close and apply. So it's going to run through all those things I have done and apply the changes. If I had disabled some things, this would not have taken this long. Okay, it's done. Surprisingly, it's done. Okay, so now I'm back to this. It takes me back here anyway, and then you'll be able to see all the tables again. So it shows you all the tables. You are able to see all the tables you have, and you can do further things in here. If you want to create some formulas, so you can create formulas here. If you want to change things, you can change them also in here. So okay, so for me, I don't think I want to change anything in here. So let's go straight away and do the dashboard. But first of all, I would like there to be a relationship between my price, because so let's look at this is the price table. I want to let there be a relationship between the price table and the metrics table, so I can be able to pick and relate and say, okay, when I choose this ticker, note that that will be the price in the price table. So I need to do that. So that's very important. That's the only thing I need to be very sure. Sometimes it does it for you, sometimes it doesn't. So it's just for me to check if it's done it. So I go to relationship. So this is relationship. and you see it's done some relationship for me, right? The one I'm interested in is between my metric and the price. So I don't know if that one is done. If there's any relationship between my metric and price. This is almost like a okay. So as there are so many, I don't even know which is which. You can come and click on manage relationship here, and if I want, I can disable the ones I don't need. So I'm going to maybe disable the one I need. Is actually I need between price and metric. So what I'll do is I'll disable the whole lot of them I don't need. And then price and metric. So those are the things that Excel Power BI does by default. I wanted to switch them off initially, but I felt okay. Let me not bug you too much with that. So I'm going to edit this particular one. I think is there anyone with a metric table? So there is no metric table. So I only have just okay. There is metric, but metric and price. So I don't have metric to price. So I'm going to change this. So I'm going to come here, edit this particular one I'm on. So I click on edit. So I'll change this from metric to price. So price. I'm going from metric to price, and it should pick ticker. So this to this. Okay. Oh, great. I need to use, so I'm going to use a table in between. So I'm going to use the ticker. I have a ticker table. By the way, why I complained is it cannot create many-to-many relationships. So I need to have a particular one that's just unique and another one that's not. So if you look at my ticker table, I can see it's not picking the column, the company, the ticker and the column, and the company as the header. So I would like to go and make that change. I'm going to just back out of here. And by the way, if you don't want this to do for you like that, I don't usually like this. So I usually do come to file, you know, options, options. Then I disable some, I untick some default setting like create relationships. I tell it not to do that, those ones for me. Uh, so if you are very particular about that, you can tell it, okay, you know, when you are loading in data, data load, query editor, data preview, okay, data query, R scripting, security, privacy, display, usage, enable tracing, preview. Okay, so it's here. So you might tell it not to import relationship, not to automatically detect. So if you do that, it will not create this labyrinth of relationship for you. So it will let you do yourself, okay, and then do not auto detect. So I switch off those relationship, and even the preview allow don't preview data in the background. So once I switch this off, things work faster. I don't have to have those things I don't understand. So but it's not compulsory. I'm just telling you that sometimes if you don't want to deal with many relationships and you have to figure out which is which, is it set up properly, you might want to switch off. But it's not compulsory. I do it a lot. If you don't do it, you will still have achieved what we wanted to do. So back to what I said I need to fix. The ticker table. The ticker table is not recognizing my ticker table. Where is it? Ticker bridge table. Yeah, this one. So it's not recognizing this as the first, I will have, this should have been the header, row header. So I'll go to edit query. So that's why I say most of the work you will do usually in this edit query. When your data, you need to do some things to make them ready for use. So I'm going to come in here and tell it that I want to use the first row as header. So you look at it here, first row as header, and that's it. So I'll close and apply. So you see, and I can come back to my manage relationship. So that one is applying now. So I'll come back to manage relationship. Okay, so I can come back in here and okay, so I'll take it from price to ticker. Why is this thing taking? Come up, come up, come up. It's going to come up my streaming, what I'm using to create the video. It's one resource intensive. Uh, let me do it the other way around. So ticker bridge table to price. Okay, so I do this. So I'm creating relationship between the ticker bridge and the price. I will do a new one too. So that should that one I did, where is it? Okay, ticker bridge table to it didn't work well. It's to price. I think you went back and did to total ability to price. Okay. Alright, so now it's done. I'll also do this, a change to this. So I'll edit this, and then it will be ticker bridge to metric. So ticker bridge okay, to metric, and then ticker bridge. Alright, so I'm using the ticker bridge to connect the two tables. So I've created a relationship between price and metrics using the ticker bridge as the intermediary. Okay, so I'll do close, and so that's all I need. I'm going to come in here and let's create the dashboard itself. That's why I said most of the work is in that backend, and it's because we're doing a complex one. Most times your reports might already be in the format. You might not need to do some of these changes, but I'm trying to expose you to the different innards, the innards of Power BI. But a lot of the time, you won't do all of this. You just import the data and come in and do your chart. So I want you to look at this with a fresh mind. What we want to do, if we wanted to do this with Excel, you would see that you can't get something this nice in a very easy way. So I'm going to start with a slicer. So I'll click on the slide. This is called a slicer. Click on a slicer, and I want the slicer to have the different company ticker bridge. So ticker bridge, the company tickers. I drag it to field. So instantly I have the different companies, right? And okay, I also want to do another slicer for the different metrics. So that one I'll make it horizontal. So maybe something this way. Okay, so I'll drag from the metric table. I'll drag the different metrics in here. So I have the different metrics. So that should do. But I want it horizontal. Metric, it is showing up. I can't see anything. Okay, I don't know. It should show up like a list. Alright, no problem. I would like it horizontal anyway. So orientation, horizontal. Let me check why it's not showing. So I go back in here to data record. I go to the metric table. So metric table. Come back in here. Okay, I'll fix that. I don't know why it's not showing. So I've removed it. I'm going to drag it again. Maybe I'll drag something else there. Company name. I think there's a problem with the version I downloaded yesterday. Show items with no data. That should work. Let me just drag from somewhere else and see. Yeah. This is unbelievable. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and work on it. That's the step anyway. So I don't know why, for any reason why it's decided not to show. So I'll make it. I want it horizontal, so that way I have it this way, and then I want to create a pie chart, a line chart. So I want to create a line chart for the price. So I'm going to put a line chart, and then it will be for price. The line charts, I've done the size I want. So price, this is price. I know why that one wasn't showing. Okay, I know why it wasn't showing. You see, I had selected a particular company here, so it was affecting it. So, see, it's shown. See, I didn't know I had selected something here. So it's working fine. As you can see, it's working fine. All right. Everything is interlinked, so that's the issue. So it's working fine. Let's not panic. Okay, I'm going to drag price. So I want to draw for the price, the different price. Where's the price? The price data. The different price should go to values, and I want the over the date period. So axis will be date. So how has the price been changing over date? I want the dates to show normally as a date. Okay, perfect. And the price should be, you shouldn't do sum. It's just they have the price. What's the normal, the price itself, average price. And also for legend, I'll drag the different companies to legend. So in case you pick more than one company, but this is going to be a lot. So it shows all the different companies. So if you pick a particular company, see, it's going to show for just that company. All right. So let's move on. So I'm done for this one. I need to also do a bar chart, a column chart. Let's do this type. So I'll make the size this. Maybe I'll move this one up a little. Okay, so I have some space for this. Okay, so now I want to be able to draw. So when you pick on a particular operations, you should be able to see the value across the different years, right? So I'm going to metric, so back to here. So I'll pick on metric, and I want to do for the different year. So year is going to be in axis, and I want to see the value in value, and I want to see, so now it's showing me, and I want to see the particular metric I'm looking at. So maybe the metric I'm looking at. So it shows me I'm doing cash flow. Okay, see. So it's showing me it's cash flow I'm looking at. What other thing would be useful? I think this is good. Good. So you might want to compare cash flow from operations with cash flow from financing. So you can see the two side by side, right? Okay, so that's done. So let's just see one of them at a time. And I might also want to see for the different companies too, in case you pick more than one particular company. So in Legend also, I'll drag company there. It doesn't want me to put more than one. Okay, let's leave it that way. So we are done, sort of. We are done. What's left is just coloring. Maybe I want to make this look a little finer. But all those ones are coloring. So one other thing, I might want to put my company brand, I put our name. Let me show you anyway the coloring part. So I can come in here and maybe I'll give it a background. I don't know, let's try black. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. Yes. Okay, so this is it not too black? Okay, maybe I'll just change this. I'll make this look the outline color, the font color, background. I think that black is too black. So let me switch it off, revert default. Okay, but you get the whole stuff. So let me show you how it works. We've done, it's just coloring that is left. So I can pick on a particular company and instantly I can see the analysis of that company show up, right? And I can publish this too. So if I want to publish it as a report, say I'm done, I want to publish this. You can also insert an image if you want. Let me see if I can bring in an image. I don't have a ready-made image and time is against us. But you can insert an image. Let me show you where. So like that was what I did to insert our company logo. This one I did here. Oh, see, I've done a lot of coloring here. So I also have our company logo. I thought I have a company logo in there. Yeah, see. So I inserted it as an image. So you can also insert images. So you insert image. It's under format, I think, or view, or home. So it's under home, image, right? So time is against us. I will check out for your questions. So the last bit is I can publish once I'm done. So I click on publish. Publish means I can share with my managers, with people, with those who want to consume this report. So every time I update the report, they get the latest version and they can check it on their phone, they can check it anywhere, they can check it on their uh, mobile devices. Okay, so let me quickly run through your questions. So January webinar. It wants me to save. Okay. So I'll be taking your questions now. I'm looking through the okay. Okay, so uh is Power BI free? Yes, Power BI is free. Yes, Power BI is free. Okay. So this is still, it's asking me for my password, I think. Working on it. Wants me to sign in. Power BI is free. Let me see other question. But still show the process for turning off the relationship for future. Okay, I've done that. Thank you. Uh, Apart from training purpose, please give live usage of Power BI in any organization in Nigeria. Okay, once this show up, I'll show you some demos I've had to do for companies, and the ones I can show you anyway that are not breaching any terms of condition with the company. Okay, please ignore. Okay, so you're saying, please, when are you running this class again? The webinar? I don't know, because webinars we I don't try to repeat the same thing. It becomes boring for those who have watched this one, and then again I have to do the same thing again next month or 2 months so close. Maybe when drastic changes have happened, or maybe I want to show another very interesting use of Power BI. How is the market for data analysis, business intelligence analysts in Nigeria's corporate world? Sincerely, the market is there. It's just that the market doesn't advertise itself. So it's not like you're going to see on a news page of newspaper. Why is this taking forever? So it's not like you're going to see on a page of newspaper that, oh, we need a business analysis, business intelligence. What happens is companies in-house, they are trying to, like for Power BI, a lot of companies are trying to implement it. So they have an in-house analytics team. So they task the in-house team. The in-house team will say, "Oh, we need training on this, or we need to recruit more people. We need more hands." So, but most times they rather train the people in-house. So they already just train their staff to use Power BI. So most for you, the way the opportunity lies, either you're a consultant, so they bring you in and say, "Come and jumpstart our team, help them get familiar with this to train them on it," or there's an urgent project, so come and initiate this project, then train our team to handle it, to maintain it, to do more. So that's where the current opportunities are. But for you, if you're looking as a job, as a full-time work to be a business analyst, there are some companies that hire business for business analytics role directly, but most of the time they hire a much more generic role. Then you find out that you're having to do this as part of your job role. Let me see why this is taking forever. I'm going to close it. Oh, okay. So it wants me to do sign in. Sign in. Sign in. I should have signed in before. Anyway, I'm going to show you how it looks like once you publish. So once you publish, this is what it's going to look like. And then I'll show you other ones I've had to do for some companies. What other analytics tools apart from Excel and Power BI are available? There are others. There is Tableau, there is Spotfire, there are many other tools. So, but for Excel, there's really very Excel is like a monopoly in that its own section. It's very rare for you to find something that will work effectively as Excel, except when you need something specific. So maybe it's not like you're reading Excel itself. You just want to do something, and so I have to quickly go and switch off to. This is a demo, but let me choose a demo that I can show you. Show us. I have to cut this out of the video very soon. I have to cut it out from the recording. So, but that one is a real job, the one that I will have to cut out anyway. But you can see this is a demo of also how a company is using. Companies use them. You'll be surprised. A lot of companies use Power BI. Intercontinental Bank, uh, some other companies I don't want to mention their names. They're using it. A friend calls me from GT Bank, and I'm sure they are using it because he was asking me specific question about Power BI. So companies are using them. You might not see them broadcasting that I'm using it, but they use it. So if you have that knowledge, it's a big hedge. It's just that they don't ask it too when they are recruiting. So that's the issue. So assuming I had uploaded that stuff, it's going to look a lot like this. So if I had published it, it will have published to this. It's going to show up now. So this is what it will look like. And then I can share this with someone. I can share it if you're my manager at work, or we are colleagues. I can share it with you and say, okay, you know, I want you to also, here is the requested report. So here's the requested report, blah blah, and I share with the person. So the person is able to, every time I make updates, automatically the person gets it. I don't have to resend, right? So these are the extra benefits, and as you can see, I don't also have to be on my PC or on the Power BI itself. Any internet connected device, you can always look at the result and report, and it's very interactive. The same interactivity when you are or any device that is connected to internet, as long as you log in with your right credentials. So it has that security control on the functionalities, how you can set such that you share the report to different departments, but department A can only see the reports that are particular to them, department B can only see the reports that are particular to them, or the guy in Lagos can only see Lagos report, he cannot see Abuja report. So all those row level security, all those other things, I'll do another webinar to show it. uh, I don't know why this one has hung, so let me maybe just close the whole thing. Any other question? We are done. I'm just taking questions. So let me see if ending this would make any change. Okay. Any other question? Let me close this. So I'm trying to close this and relaunch it and see and show you how it will look like once I, you know. So I'm going to reopen it and then I'll publish. So you can, after that, then, I'll close the entire webinar. So open, it's one of our recents. I can't even know where I saved it. This was one we built in a training we did December. So that's why I saved December training. Okay, January webinar. So I'm going to open it. I'll just make sure I log in and then I'll publish. I guess that seems to be the only function, right? Ah, yes, but it's bigger than that. When you say it's just for data visualization, it makes it look like it just does a static chart. There's a lot of business sense to it. So it allows drill down. It allows let me the ones I've done that has all of those advanced capabilities. They are for companies. They are for I'm not done the visualization. Allows you to set trigger points. If our sales value reach a particular value, or maybe if you're using this to for system monitoring, your equipment monitoring. If a particular equipment is down for more than 8 hours, in a week, you get an email instantly. So you can set all those kind of alerts, right? That you cannot get with Excel, right? That you cannot get, with any regular tool, right? And that delivers a business value. And also you can drill down in your analysis. So when the data visualization is not static, so it's not like the charts are looking at you and you're looking at them. You can ask questions. I will show you that. You can ask questions. You can ask questions and it will provide you answer. And it shows you also relationship between different reports. So I can say it's just unfortunate that this one I created here, um, I don't need to do drill down. I don't need to do different regions. So this example might not show you those other aspects of it. This one was majorly just to show you how you can merge up data from different places and do some merging up inside to come up with something that will get you what you want. Maybe in another webinar I'll show us how I show you those other things about creating drill down and more. So once this one publishes now, so I'm going to publish now. Once it publishes, I will show you some of the extra things you get. I will publish it to my stock analysis webpage. So, Augustine, it's not just data visualization, but that's one of his key components. That's the like one of the biggest components to it, but that's not all that it has. Okay, so it's publishing. Oh, great. So it's done publishing, and you'll see that. Okay, so it's launching. So that very report I've done, this is it, right? And if if you can see my phone, I will have shown you what it looks like also on my phone. Would you have webinars on SQL? No, because I'm not even an SQL guru. I only just know the SQL I need to get my work done. I've done Oracle, SQL, but that was like 8 years ago. I've forgotten most of all these things. It's just what I need to get my work done that I know. It might be a lot, it might not be a lot, but I don't consider myself an expert in SQL to now want to do, whatever. If I do a webinar on SQL, what I'll be showing you will be things you already probably know, or things you can easily Google out. So we won't be doing a webinar on SQL. Okay, so the extra features, I've shown you one, you can share. Number two is you can, so let me go to the Q&A part. So you can ask, interact with the data itself. So I can go to, let me pin live page. So I'll call it new dashboard, stocks, Jan. Let me just call it something unique. Okay, so now on the dashboard, I can ask a question. I can say, I want to see, maybe uh, Nestle, Nestle by a revenue by year, from metrics. I think it had issue with that one. Okay, as you can see, I'm asking question. I want to see, okay, uh, Nestle by what year now? Maybe I want to see Nestle, or I want to see revenue for all the companies for a particular year, maybe 2015, financial year 2006. These are things that I did not already draw in the charts, so it can draw them for me. When I ask questions, I can see charts automatically come out to answer me that question I'm asking. So even charts that someone has not drawn, by just asking Q&A, you get you get the answers. So it does this chart for me. You can ask it questions. Let me look for an intelligent question to ask. So maybe I want to see, gross profits. So gross profits, you can see it's pulled that particular gross profit table out. So if I wanted to have the table, this is the table. Let's even go with this table first so you see. So I want to have the table, I have the table. But maybe I want it sorted by a particular year, or maybe I don't want the table, I want a chart. So gross profit from the gross profit, I want it in the metric table. So I want gross profit from metric table. Yeah, so gross profit inside metric, in metric. Yeah, so I'm picking that one, and I want it by year. So you see it's gonna pick it out, and by year, sorry that it's dragging because of my, so by year 2, I'll get the year out from metrics, yeah, metrics year. and the value. So value 2 from matrix. I didn't structure the question well. If I structured it well, it will also have drawn a chart for me. So these are things that you can get with it. Uh, Maybe I'll do another webinar where I'll be able to have, instead of me just randomly writing things, I can ask interesting questions. They even suggest things for you to, you could pick and draw some interesting things for you. Okay, so let me check if any more questions or we round it up. Okay, yes, Nkiru, yes, gotten late. Yes, it will be saved. Yeah, it's compatible with 4 gig RAM. Yes, it's it's compatible. It's compatible with 4 gig RAM. Okay, so I think I think we are done for today. We even overshot the time by 20 minutes. So thank you and see you next month. If you have any ideas of webinars you would like to see, maybe specific things you want us to do a webinar around, please do share. That way we don't always end up doing webinars and hoping that it will be useful to you. We are also able to do the ones that you find immediately useful. Just that sometimes we try to prioritize showing you new things. We try to show you what's new, what you're probably not using yet. So once you have those details, the day that they will be of use to you, you'll be able to know, okay, yeah, this was the thing Michael mentioned and now it's of use. So thank you, and have a nice rest of the week. So I'm going to stop the webinar. Okay.